Saquon.
And this is our intro video for our YouTube, Meet the Capos. And today we're going to do a story time on how we met. I get the question all the time on my Facebook about how we met. Different questions about our marriage in general. So this video is for you. Nothing? You don't have nothing to say? Okay.
Let's just jump straight to the part when you kiss me first.
No, I didn't kiss you first. But anyway, we're going to start with introducing ourselves. I'm 27. I'm an author. And I'm married. Oh, and I'm a dope sister. And I'm a dog mom. And
you definitely got to record.
I'm a little bit of a shopaholic. I got it out. I'm a little bit of a shopaholic. And this is my husband.
I speak now?
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, I'm Saquon. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm 25.
You are not 25.
Alright, I'm 28. I'm 25.
He's 28.
Don't listen.
And he's going through a midlife crisis about soon to be turning 30. But anyway, so... Anyway, so... hit the button below or above. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. And subscribe to our channel. We're late for Vlogmas, so we're not probably going to do a whole bunch of videos for Vlogmas. Catch us next year. And we're probably going to do a couple more videos this month and then start fresh for January. So, yeah, subscribe.
So now let's go ahead and go on and get into this. I'm going to let her tell her side of the story first because she doesn't believe me.
So, I used to hang out in Brooklyn a whole lot with my best friend. And it was one night, I don't know, if you're from New York, you know what Juve is. And it was it's Labor Day, right? Before Labor Day? Yeah, it's the day before, it's the night before Labor Day where they throw paint, you in this like rope thing.
I was going to say the morning of.
The morning of Labor Day. And I was, at the time my mom was in a hospital with my sister. She wasn't born yet, but she was having like complications, so she had to stay in the hospital. So me and my best friend was gonna go to Juve. And her boyfriend ended up tripping or something about her not going or something like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay home because I didn't feel like traveling all the way over there just to sit and do nothing because her boyfriend pretty much was like, no, you're not going. So I happened to be on the phone with her and her boyfriend on three-way, and we were just talking all night. And back then, it was Sidekick. So you know how now we have the luxury of using our phone and texting or, you know, being on Facebook. Back then, it was none of that. It was either you was on the phone or you was on AIM. And I happened to be on the phone all night. So by the time I hung up, I had got like a whole bunch of different IM messages that I got while I was on the phone. So one of them was from Saquon. And it was like...
Beeville Bobs.
That was his Instagram. No, not Instagram. His AIM name. So, it was like, you sure are. So, I was just like, what? I was mad confused. So, I spent like half the night thinking about what he meant. And then it like dawned on me that maybe he's talking about my screen name. My screen name is like Thick, it was Thick Sexy Dinky 16.
Like, and then he wrote to you. I never understood.
You sure are.
I get it, but that's crazy. That's like a whole nigga pickup.
Anyway, so I was like, hold on, let me fix this camera a little bit.
Yo, boy, I just almost had a heart attack. That's gonna be crazy.
You zooming in on your bosoms.
Oh, I feel like my top of my head was like, what's the name?
That's because you sitting so close up instead of sitting back.
Don't stop. Anyway, so I spent like half my night thinking about what he meant, what he was talking about. And back then, your girl was wanted. So I had a whole bunch of different people in my IMs. And I was just trying to think, like, what does he mean by that? And, oh, the part that I actually did miss was my best friend's boyfriend ended up showing me how you basically could get into like different group chats or chat rooms when you had AIM. So he basically told me how to get in. That's how I ended up, getting in the group chat, and he happened to be in there. So, oh wait, I told the story all wrong.
You don't even know how
Definitely did.
I did. Basically, we was on. He showed me how to go on AIM, not AIM, but the group chat,
the chat room,
and me and him ended up talking. His friend had wrote me too. So I was talking to both of them. At the time, I didn't know they were friends, but I was talking to both of them, and then it was like, yo, you got any pictures? And I had a Sidekick 08, I think, or whatever Sidekick it was that didn't have the camera. I had that one. So I basically used to have to live through my friends like, oh, take a picture of me, take a picture of me.
Have a camera, that's an ID.
Yeah, the ID, thank you. I couldn't remember it. But I had a Sidekick ID, so I was living through my friends like, oh, take a picture of me, send me a picture. So they would send me, if I took a picture, send me a picture, because that was the only way I could have pictures on my phone, because it didn't have a camera. So I basically sent him and his friend a whole bunch of pictures. They sent me pictures, and then after that, it never went.
You didn't even know that was my friend yet.
I said that.
But you just said him and his friend.
What am I supposed to say?
You didn't know that was my friend yet.
Anyway, I basically sent him and his friends pictures. I didn't know at the time that they were friends. So I sent them pictures. They sent me pictures back. And it was after that, it was like we had like a couple words, and then it was like nothing. So then time passed. I think that was like at the beginning of the summer that happened. And then Juve came, and my best friend's boyfriend was like, nah, you're not coming. You're not going. So we basically was on the phone. And then that's when I hung up, and he had sent me like, you sure are. So I was like, what does that mean? What does you sure are mean? So then I finally realized from my IM name, I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably what it means. So I basically wrote him like, oh, thank you, or whatever like that. And then I went to sleep, because we was up on the phone till like maybe 3 in the morning. And I had wrote him back probably like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I had went to sleep. So when I woke up, he had wrote me back, and we was like we was just like, IMing back and forth, or whatever the case may be. And then it was like, I had a boyfriend at the time, but we was like on and off. So at the time we was off.
I was single.
Don't do that. He wasn't single. But anyway, at the time we was off. And me and him, our conversations was so like, we would talk, then we wouldn't. We would talk 1 month, then we wouldn't for 2, or whatever the case may be. So it was like on and off. So then I had ended up getting back with my boyfriend at the time. And me and him wasn't really talking like that. So I still haven't had him as a friend. So I would see, like, when I'm scrolling, like, if you know what AIM is and you was on AIM, people had away messages. You would look at their little icon picture to see what they had, or whatever the case may be. So I would scroll and see, like, he would leave, like, little, poems for his girlfriend at the time. Yes, you did. And his you had a girlfriend. And his girlfriend, he had his girlfriend's picture in the icon. So I'm like, oh, he moved on. All right, cool, whatever. So I continued doing me, or whatever the case may be. And that summer, my mom was like in the hospital, like high risk pregnancy with my sister. So basically, I was like free. Like, I was doing shit I wasn't supposed to be doing. I was out. I was doing whatever. I basically was living like I was fucking grown, or whatever. So,
motion detected in the front yard.
Sorry. I was living like I was grown. So I think around, my mom ended up having my sister. She had her in September. So then when she came home, it was kind of like, all right, your free time is over. So he ended up reaching back out to me, or whatever. And we ended up talking. And we ended up talking again, and he was like, call me. Because at that point, we only was just like, messaging. So we never talked on the phone. So he was like, call me. I was like, what are you laughing for? Am I lying?
Nah, you telling the truth. Go ahead, continue, man.
Anyway, so at the time, he told me to call him. And I was like, oh, I'll call you, after I finish doing this, that, and the third. Or whatever. And what you just did? Anyway. Watch when you tell your side. But anyway, so I was basically like, oh, I'll call you when I finished doing whatever the case may be, because my mom was back home, so it was back like, all right, no more free time, or whatever the case may be. So I ended up, every time I was supposed to call him that night, I ended up falling asleep. So I was like, you know what, you just call me this time or whatever. And then it was like 2 nights in a row he was supposed to call me, and then he ended up forgetting. He was like, oh, I was, I was playing outside with my friends, or which was playing a game or something. Like he was playing the game and he forgot to call me or something like that. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was just like, whatever. Why you keep doing it like you got ad-libs or something? What the fuck are you, Migo?
You ain't know what I was playing. I was playing Call of Duty. I was just, letting it be known.
Anyway, so he finally called me that night or whatever. And I was like in bed and I was like waiting, and then I was like falling asleep because he said he was going to call. So he finally called me, and we was on the phone talking and all of that stuff like that or whatever. And mind you, we had started back talking like heavy. Like we used to talk every day, every hour of the day, except for like when he was in school or something like that. Or he was out doing whatever he was doing. We didn't talk. So we was talking like heavy every day, but every day we was like on the phone. So when he called me, we was talking. I heard his voice, and I was like, oh, his voice matches him. He's fine, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And I was like, man,
I was that nigga when she heard me.
Anyway, so I put my little, us women, we had those voices like, hello. I put my little sweet voice on, was talking and all of that and stuff like that. And we was basically like, we was vibing. It was a vibe. And we was chilling and stuff like that on the phone or whatever. And my mom had already went to sleep. And I was just up on the phone just talking. So he was like, so then what happened was after like maybe I want to say like what, 2 weeks of just on the phone every night?
Yeah.
On the phone every night we was talking or whatever the case may be. And he was like, was it 2 weeks? It was like 2 weeks, a week, or
it was about a week or so.
Like a week or so on the phone. And he told me he loved me. So am I lying? Am I lying?
This ain't no 90 Day Fiance.
Am I lying?
You got me looking like the Spanish dude on 90 Day Fiance, son.
Am I lying?
It don't sound accurate.
Really, Saquon? Are we gonna tell the? Are we gonna tell the truth or are we not? Because in this point, I'ma just exit.
You're gonna exit?
Yes. Are you gonna tell the truth? Anyway. So he told me he loved me. So on the phone, I was like, I didn't know if he said I love you or not, and I didn't want to say it. And at the time, I was feeling it. Mind you, I was 16 years old. So this dude, like, in my head, this was gonna be my husband. But what? So when he said it, he was like, I love you. And I was like, in my head, did I hear him right? My heart started racing. I was on nerves, so I was like, I love you too. And he was like, I'm gonna go to bed smiling tonight. And I was like, and you laugh because you know it's true.
That's crazy.
So after we hung up, I went to bed smiling, all smiles. I woke up a brand new job the next morning. Like, I got a nigga that love me. And the laughs and giggles you hear is the other people of the YouTube channel. So I woke up the next morning like so in love. So then he called me, and mind you, I'm all talking about I got a nigga that love me, but I had a boyfriend. So me and my boyfriend was like not on the same page. Like we was.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Damn, he's a liar. Anyway, and mind you, he had a girlfriend.
I was on that Mr. Steal Your Girl flow.
He had a whole girlfriend.
I ain't have a girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
I had a friend that was a girl.
Anyway, so I had a boyfriend, but me and my boyfriend was like on this weird stuff. Like he always wanted me to come to Brooklyn. I didn't always want to come to Brooklyn, and we was like in this weird space. So it was like, why are we even doing this? So I was on the phone with my friend, and me and her were talking or whatever, and he happened to was talking to my ex earlier, and I think we got into some argument or something like that. So I ended up talking to my friend or whatever the case may be, and he had called me. And he was like, I was on the other line, so I was like, I'm gonna call you back or whatever. Me and him ended up talking, and he was like, when we gonna meet up or whatever the case may be. And I was like, I don't know. So then I called my other friend, Because he was like, he had a friend for her. And if we met up, she was going to come with me. He was going to bring his friend. So I called my other friend or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I'll come or whatever the case may be. At that time, like, we were like this. Like, you wouldn't see one without the other. So it was only right that she came with me. And I knew she was going to come. So we ended up on the phone or whatever the case may be. And he was like, he asked me out. And I was like, what did you say again? He was like, you want to be my girl or something like that. And I was like torn because I had a whole boyfriend, but I really wanted to be his girlfriend. So I was like, why I gotta be so fine?
Trey Songz.
Anyway, so he was like, so I was like, I got a boyfriend or whatever the case may be, which he knew about before he told me he loved me. And he was like, leave that nigga. And I was like, I don't know. Or whatever the case may be. And I was like,
why you got me look?
No, you told me to. He was like, leave that nigga or whatever the case may be. And mind you, at the time, like when we would be talking, I would be complaining about my ex. So at that time, I guess he was probably like tired of me fucking complaining about him, and then turning around and talking about that's my boyfriend. Which is mad crazy because I write books like this. I'm gonna put the link to my books down in the description. Make sure you check them out. Anyway. So he was like, leave him. So I called my other friend that I originally was on the phone with, and I was telling her, and she was like, don't leave the one you love for the one you like, because the one you like is going to leave you for the one you love. And she kept saying that over and over and over again. I'm like, dang. And I was like, torn. So then I was just like, you know, and when I was on the phone with her, my ex actually beeped in. So I was like, talking to him. And then I just was like, randomly, like, I can't do this no more. And I broke up with him, and then I hung up. Well, he got mad first, then I hung up, and then he had called me back, and then I told him, like, I broke up with him, and he was like, what'd you say? He was like, you my girl now, or something like that, whatever. We basically made it official.
That's what I said. I said, you my girl now.
And we basically made it official. So, we basically made it official. So then him and my other friend, she was coming with me to meet him, and he was bringing his friend for her. So they was basically on the phone talking, and me and him was on the phone talking. And then that's when we decided to meet on 42nd Street, because it's basically, if you live in New York, everybody's there.
Deuce.
It's basically the safest place to probably meet or whatever. Mind you, we were like 16 years old, so it was like we going to meet somebody that I met on a chat room or whatever. Let's meet on 42nd Street. So me. The day of, like, my mom was supposed to do my hair, and she was, like, in the middle of sewing, like, a weave in my hair, and it was, like, this, I kept seeing this, like, this style that I really wanted, and it was, like, this long weave, and she was, like, it took her forever to sew it in because it was so much hair, so, like, this whole middle of my head wasn't done, so I was just like, I'm supposed to meet this guy, and I didn't tell my mom I was supposed to meet him, or whatever, so I couldn't be like, Mom, my hair's not done, I'm supposed to meet my nigga, or nothing like that. So I was just like, you know what, she was like, just put a hat on it, because I told her I was going with my friend. So I basically put a hat on, and did it like a nice cute little bun. I had my mom's leather jacket, and it had like all the different patches of like, different basketball teams, but like Harlem Globetrotters, those kind of teams. And it was black and red. I had
from New York, you know what kind of jackets those was.
And a pair, it was red and black. I had a pair of tight skinny jeans, and I had a pair of red and black ACGs. So, and I had a red like kind of scully hat, but my bun was to the side and the back. It looked cute, and I had like big hoop earrings. So me and my friend met. We took the bus, and we took the ferry, got on the train, and we ended up getting on the 4 train to 42nd, which takes you to Grand Central. And you gotta basically walk to 42nd Street, the real 42nd Street. So we ended up walking.
I took the right way there.
We ended up walking, and we was like, we want to beat them there so we could see what they look like. And then if it's like is a wrap, we could leave. Like they never knew we was there. So we get there, we hide them behind a payphone, which is a throwback because they don't even have payphones on the street no more. But anyway, we find like a payphone, the ones that have the 2 different payphones, and we hide them behind it, and we looking. We near Champs on 42nd Street. So he called me, and I'm like, no, his friend calls my friend, and he's like, where y'all at, or whatever the case may be. And she's like, oh, we in front of Champs. We lying because we want to see what they look like. They was like, oh, we in front of Champs. We right here. So we not thinking anything. We go and cross the street and be like, where y'all at? and they like, put your hands in the air. And they across the street trying to do what we basically was trying to do. So we put our hands in the air. So he crossed the street, she crossed the street, we meet. Did we hug?
Yeah.
We hugged, basically hugged, or whatever the case may be. And he was smiling, he was feeling me. I was feeling him. And we basically kind of matched because he had ACGs on, he had a leather jacket.
With the cone head. The brown cone head.
A leather jacket?
Nah, I had the cone head. You don't know what the cone head is? You from New York, you don't know what a cone head is? Champion hoodie.
Saquon, you didn't have just that
I had
on.
the champion hoodie on, and then I had the jacket on over it.
But I said a jacket. Why you mention?
On,
why you mention a sweat?
Come on, you got to.
Anyway, so
Brown one at that.
He had on a leather jacket, ACGs, and I had on the same thing. So we ended up walking on 42nd Street and stuff like that. Then we was kind of like, we 16, we broke, so we ain't going to any of these restaurants. So we ended up was like, what we gonna do? So we ended up like, let's ride the it was the L train.
Which train was it? Train.
The N. It was the N.
Yeah.
We rode. They was like, let's ride the N train at Coney Island. So we rode the N train from Coney Island
to the last stop.
To the last stop,
right?
Yeah. So we was just on my friend and his friend was like sitting down more, and they was talking. Then me and him was sitting, and then it went from us sitting to I was laying on him with my feet stretched on the thing. We was listening to my MP3 player and listening to music and talking and all that stuff. And talking and all that stuff, and we rode the train all the way to the end of the stop, and then we got off. And he was leaning on like the column on the train station, and I was leaning against him, and we was watching the sun come up because we basically rode it from Boston, so it was like probably like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like
4:30 in the morning, about to be 5 in the morning. So then we rode the train back, and then they got off at their stop, and we kept going because me and my friend had to catch the ferry and come home. So we basically caught the ferry, stopped. We got on a bus, then we got off up the block from our house, went to the store. We got I think we got bacon, egg, and cheese or whatever the case may be in Arizona. And then she went to her building, and I went to my building. And when I went to my building, I went in my house. My brother was still up waiting for me. I shared my bacon, egg, and cheese with him, and then I went to sleep. Then, the next morning, I got barked on. Like, my mom was, like, tight. I got in so much trouble. I was on punishment for a week. And good thing she didn't take my phone. But then I ended up that same day going over to my friends who told me not to leave the one I love for the one I like, because the one I like, or leave the one for me for the one I love, whatever. And I'm going to her house and basically just reliving the whole night over. I felt like I broke day. My mom ain't, whooped my ass. I got in trouble, but whatever. And then we was like, the next morning we was texting and stuff like that. We was like, and mind you, the day we met is our anniversary. So we basically, from the day we met is February 7th, and then that next week was Valentine's Day. So I was like, I'm already in trouble for a week. So I'm like, so we was making plans to see each other Valentine's Day. And I was like, I hope my mom let me go. Long story short with that, like, I was like, all right, mom, I'm going to meet him. My mom ended up turning my Valentine's Day into her Valentine's Day, making me take my brother, making me take my sister, who was like 6 months at the time, while she went on a date. But anyway, that was my side of the story.
Tell mine?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, it was the winter of 08, right?
We was in 08?
Yeah, we in 08. It was the winter of 08. I would have to say...
I would say, like, that's so wrong because we met 09. So why was it the winter of...
But
all right.
Talking
That's true. All right, go ahead.
Before then,
That's
see?
true.
So it was the winter of 08. I'm going to say around when? What can I say around when?
When what?
When we first started talking. That first time I met you in the chat. It was sometime in '08 though, wintertime. It was in the chat room live. Me and my son, Schoolboy. He was in
No,
there.
no. It wasn't. If you was on the channel, it wasn't winter time. Remember, it was around summertime. It was the beginning of the summer.
True. I was in school.
Like we kept talking, and our whole thing
Off
was
and
like,
on, we was talking
yeah.
off and on. Yeah. She right about that part. I don't know about the rest of the story. So we was me and my man Schoolboy was in there. We was in this group. We was wilding. You know what I'm saying? We was wilding. We was spazzing on dudes in there, politicking. You know, talking to the shorties in there and all that. So she happened to be somebody whose name popped up, and I was like, oh, you know, she sound real interesting. Long story short, you know, got her information, following her for a while. Around that time, I did have a little situation going on.
You had a whole girlfriend. Like, it's not a little situation. It's not a situation. You had a girlfriend.
She said that. That's what she said. But I'm going to just tell you, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what part you skipped?
What?
The whole, when you sent the pictures and all that. And then you sent them to me and Schoolboy.
I said that.
Now you did say that, right?
Yeah.
You definitely said that.
I made a mistake.
Nah, she ain't make a mistake. I'm gonna tell you about the picture with the boots though. She had
Talk about.
She had like one school picture she had on. She was in school with the rain boots on. She had the rain boots on, yo.
If you from New York and you from Brooklyn, you know.
She from Staten Island.
So what? I used to shop in Brooklyn. You know what Dancy's or Dani's, if you call it that store. It was basically like Fashion Nova for back then. You know them boots that used to be on sale for like $24 or $42. Yes, I had a pair of those on, and I had a whole bunch of them. I was in high school. My mom wasn't about to be spending a whole bunch of money. Anyways, continue
so I'm gonna get back into
your flawed story.
During the time, me and the shorty I was messing with, you know.
You wasn't messing. You was with her.
We was going through what we was going through or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I fell back, you know what I'm saying? Fell back a little bit. Then I seen her name, and, you know, I decided to hit up, you know, take a shot. So I took a shot, boom. You know what I'm saying? I wrote the "You Sure Are." And surprisingly, you know, after a while, she hit me back. I was shocked, you know what I'm saying? So we was talking on and off, you know, we did a little talking and all that on and off. And then I had just fell off. I fell off because, you know, I was doing me. I was doing me and whatnot. And then when we started back talking again, you know what I'm saying? We was talking, we was texting on the regular. And then, you know, after a while, I got tired of texting. Was like, you know, let's talk on the phone. I remember that day perfectly because I was at my man Drake crib. He's playing Call of Duty. We was wilding out, and then, you know, that night we had talk. I had bounce. We talked. We was on the phone almost all night. We was on the phone till like morning time, right? Up talking. I left my man's house. We was talking. We used to be up all night long, talking on the phone. So then from around there, we was talking. This time was around when we started back talking, right? Mm-hmm. So we started back talking, and
I remember because when we started talking, it was Regents Week.
And she was right. You know, she did. I was the one that said, "I love you" first on the phone. I ain't gonna lie, I was. You happy?
Mm-hmm.
She happy now, since I admitted that. And then we ended up meeting up. I wanted to meet her, so we ended up meeting up. So let me tell you how this went, right? Me and my mans, we went to go meet them. So, you know, we already had the game plan. Like, yo, alright, so we gonna call them, see where they at. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell them put their hand in the air so we can see what the situation is first. So me and my son JR, we got there. And they was like, yo, finally, it was like they was here. So we was like, yo, he was on the phone. And I'm like, yo, tell him put their hand in the air. And we was across the street, so they put their hand in the air. And then I looked, and I was like, oh, all right. Yo, the scene is good. The scenery is good, man. So then we went over. But they came over. We was talking. We was chilling. She already knew the vibes that I knew everybody because while we was out there, seen a couple of my mans out there, too, on the strip. Then we ended up taking the train. We was politicking all night. That's where we got our favorite song. We got our own song.
Our song is I Need Love. What was you about to say?
I was gonna say Lloyd. I was gonna say the name.
I Need Love by Lloyd and Dream. You can't find it on Apple Music because they hate it, and I wish you did, but you could find it on YouTube. It's I Need Love by Lloyd and Dream. It's my favorite song. I listen to it every time and think about when we met, because that was the song we listened to like 3 times on the train together. Like, I had one ear, he had one ear, and I was like laid against him. It was so romantical.
I'm gonna get back into this story. So we rode the train. My mans and her friend was down the cart. We was on the other side of the car. We was just chilling, kicking it. Then by the time we ended up noticing it was mad late, we was waiting for our trains, and we was in the train station, and that's when she kissed me.
Oh, I've skipped that. I did not kiss.
She kissed me.
No, I forgot that part. He kept. At the time, I used to wear ballistics. Like, everybody knew me as ballistics. It was me. I had so many ballistics. And in the summertime, I get like cold sores or whatever, so I like to always keep my lips, lubricated. So I always used to wear ballistics. So I was putting my ballistics on while we was on 42nd Street. We was standing in front of the Skechers store because we was trying to decide what we wanted to do. So I was putting my ballistics on, minding my business, like, because I was like so shy. I was like, what am I gonna say to him? Or what am I gonna, what's the name? So we was standing like at a bus stop in front of the Skechers store. So I was putting my ballistics on, minding my business. So he kept coming in my face, and he's like, what up, or whatever the case may be. And I was like, what? So then he kept putting his lips out for me to kiss him. So I kissed him. But he kissed me when I'm telling it again, it sounds like I kissed you.
But he did kiss me
He
first.
wanted me to kiss him.
You kissed me first.
And then once I kissed him once, he was like, did you say give me another one?
Yes.
Exactly. So,
but you kissed me first.
And then we was in the train station waiting for the train. He came in my face again. It was like, give me a kiss or something like that. And I gave him another one, so he wanted the kiss. And he kissed me first.
She kissed me first.
Continue.
She admitted it.
Continue.
So then we ended up taking them and dropping them off at their train. Y'all went to y'all train first, right?
No, I got off. And we kept riding them because we had to go to the ferry.
Because we got off the train. So me and my mans went home. It was late. We was just chilling, so I walked him halfway. And then I went and came home. That night, I lost my grandfather Metro card. So fat, and it was a monthly Metro card too. So I had picked up a Metro card. I had thought I was the one I dropped. So I picked it up and it wasn't. Shh, man. Grandpa's went to work. Came back and was like, what happened to the Metro card? I'm like, yo, it was working last night. And he's like, nah, that's not the Metro card. I'm like, yo, Gramps, that's the card you gave me. You know what I'm saying? That's the card you gave me to use. You know what I'm saying? I used it. And I gave it back. He wasn't trying to hear that. He wasn't trying to hear that at all. But he left it alone. And then that morning, my grandma was like, yo, where you was at? I was like, yo, I was at my man's crib. Ended up falling asleep. Even though I wasn't telling the truth. I was out on the town. Then I ended up going to my man's house and we ended up talking about the night or whatever. And then around that time, we was gonna plan to meet up again on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, I had to wanting to go get some chocolates. What I got I got flowers too, right?
I think you did.
I
Yeah.
got some flowers. I got some chocolates. Went to meet her on downtown Brooklyn. Went to meet her downtown Brooklyn. She had the whole gang with her. Her little annoying little brother. Asking me 1,000 questions. What's your intentions with my sister? I'm looking like, yo, get out of here, Pipsqueak. Talking all that nonsense. But he was mad cool. Had his little mohawk and all that. Mom's was cool. Then we ended up having to scrap our plans since she had the carry-on team with her, and we had to head back to Staten Island.
My mom basically was like, I'm coming because you don't know this boy. You ain't met him before. And I remember I had like, Ma, I know him. I love him. But I was like, all right, you could come. Well, I didn't say you can come. I'm like,
Her
all
mom
right.
had her own plan. She
Right, so we went to at the time, her boyfriend, my mom's boyfriend, worked downtown. So we met him at his job. And I'm thinking like, all right, you met him, let's go. Because we had plans to go out. And I was excited. And she was like, oh, no, me and such is going out. And I'm like, what? And she took my sister off. At the time, she was 6 months, so she had her on like the baby carrier. She took her off, strapped her onto me, was like, make sure you get home safe or whatever. So I'm just like, I'm supposed to be meeting him, going out to dinner with him. It's Valentine's Day, my first real Valentine's Day. Because all my other ones was like whack. So I'm just like, oh my God.
We still managed. I went home with her. I wasn't gonna let her carry all of them home by herself. I traveled. That's why I discovered that the bus that I could take from my house goes by the bus that stopped at the bridge, which was also came in handy because I could take the bus straight home. So.
And at the time, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna tell him how to get home because I don't know how to get to his house from here, whatever. All I know to tell him is to take that bus over the Verrazano Bridge and catch whatever our train is going into like downtown. But at the time he was like, oh, clutch. He was like, the B8 that go by my house. So I was like, God, you made a way. Because I did not know how I was going to tell him to get home. And I was like, thank you, God.
Everything worked out. Everything worked out. Everything was cool. But since then, you know what I'm saying? She been my ride or die since then.
So lovely.
She been my ride or die since then.
And that is how we met. So,
Motion detected.
in the comments below, let us know what you think. And in the comments below, I just like doing this motion. Let us know what you think. I feel like you can't see, it's like cut off.
Yeah,
Let us know. Let us know what you think about our story time, about how we met. This is like our intro video. So you to know how we met. We got married the same day we met. 8 years later, 9 years later? 8 years later. And we going into the year of marriage, sorry. Our third year of marriage, February 7th, 2020. Yeah, let us know what you think. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We definitely gonna have different things on here, different like story times or different pranks and different story times and stuff.
We new to this.
Huh?
So we new to this.
Yeah, we new to this, so we don't really like. I mean, I watch YouTube couples, but I just feel like some of the pranks be like, that's corny. So you like the corny pranks, you're not gonna get here. Like you just gonna get like ones that is like good ass ones. I'll be like, oh okay, that's dope. I want to do that. But yeah, we're new, so we're learning it and stuff like that. And as we get better and more subscribers, we'll be better for you guys. So make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the link, and we'll see you next time. I already know what our next video is gonna be, so it's gonna be lit. It's a prank. All right, bye.